good day, all. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your Spider ETF stock market wrap-up, your weekly edition. We'll look at some weekly charts here. And today is Sunday, the 14th of September, 2025. Now, I want to thank you for writing me. Other people have my email, so they're giving me ideas of what they'd like me to cover. And we decided to go with Rocket Mortgage. And the reason Rocket companies are what they're called, they used to be mortgage, just that, is because interest rates are on the way down. We're watching mortgage rates fall. Is this going to be enough to give this company a real shot in the arm? We'll discuss that in a minute. You can see stock indices mixed, and they are mixed tonight on the futures, really not doing a heck of a lot. Tomorrow, by the way, I'm not even going to show it. You get the New York Empire State Manufacturing number. The number in the month before was an 11.4. They're looking for a 5 reading. That's half of what it was. That's not a pretty number. You can see Amazon slipped back on Friday. Dell was falling with us. Oil prices have not been holding up real well. BND, well, tonight interest rates are actually putting on a little bit of yield. No real news for it. We have the 2-day FOMC meeting beginning on Tuesday. It ends on Wednesday with a 1 o'clock in the afternoon, that Central Time announcement. I expect a quarter-point cut. Then we will get dot plots. That's going to be real important because it gives us what the majority are going to be looking for going forward. And you don't know who's doing what, but gives you an idea. And, you know, then we'll get the speech. And whatever is going to be said at the press conference will lead us. I see inflation is sticky and gradually accumulating higher, in line with what Fed Chair Powell said at Jackson Hole, by the way, just a couple of weeks ago. And labor market has certainly surprised everybody. I mean, I think it's a lot weaker than any of us thought. But the Fed's caught in a rock and a hard place. You get too aggressive to try to save the labor, you're going to kick inflation up. Moderation is how Fed and central banks often go. That's why I'm looking for that. Gold, silver, tonight they're all taking a little break, a little bit of a correction going on there. The video was able to add some gain the other day, as you could see. XLY coming up. It's been a favorite as of recent. So when we look at Rocket, you were sideways for the longest period of time and down. And now the market's got renewed life off the chart here, and you can see on the weekly chart, it suddenly has a pattern of a lower low and a higher high. That's overall friendly, the market. It's overall the key moving averages. It fell back and fought a battle there. From April, May, June, July, it was a miserable stock just sitting down here at 11. It has very quietly over the past 3 months doubled in price to 21.10. So that's important. It's fighting a battle at the upper Bollinger Band, which is where I think it can pull back from. It's rare that you get there and you just keep accelerating away unless you get the embedded reading in the slow stochastics, which it's trying to do right now. We'll talk about that during the week. You're not quite there, but you're getting there. Netflix, still coming down, still getting beaten up, might be headed into the 1150 zone. Wouldn't surprise me, by the way. This is an ugly chart pattern. You've got to clear the 1251 level to say, okay, that's behind the market. But if you keep breaking like this, why not go down to that lower Bollinger Band? Joby Aviation, I was reading an article about Archer over today when I was having lunch, in fact. And I was reading about Archer, how they're doing in New York and all the parts. These are the two companies I'm looking at very hard as to where they're going to be. I like what Joby's doing because it's operational in Dubai in some of the areas already, whereas Archer's still getting itself going. In toast, I've been waiting for the market to come down to the Bollinger Band to see, is this where it's going to grab hold? You can see where you're down. I don't know about, I know in the heartland you might not see this, but you go to big cities, now all your waiters are coming over with computer pads. And they're able to take your orders and do everything, and you're paying right then and there. It's like it was in Europe 15 years ago. I'm laughing. I remember doing this in Europe 10, 15 years ago. So to me, it's just sort of strange as to now it's happening. But I'm sure the machinery that Europe was using wasn't quite as sophisticated as now, but it's good. We did that this morning as we were eating. And you can see how the market at 39.58 is just sort of at that number. We'll see what it can do. Home Depot, any of the hardware type stores that have to do with rehab and new construction. If interest rates keep dropping, they're going to come alive. They don't need the earnings. The market will anticipate, and that's what it looks like it did. It broke out from here to the upside. A lot of words on Uber, and a lot of talk. Is Tesla going to end up really being the Uber killer? Now, I don't think so. But they're saying that the Tesla cars in Austin, the people aren't giving it credit for what it's doing, how well it's going. I was reading that today. That's the cars. Then you're going to have the AI, the robots, and so on. I didn't like that Musk went to Europe and joined politics talking there. I wish this man would shut up on the politics and do what he does really great. Be a genius, create these things that people only dream of, and you accomplish them. The politics, leave it be. As you guys write me, I should leave it be. But being a market analyst, it's hard. You do understand that. Not that I want a political opinion. It impacts all these markets. And if you don't think that's the case, boy, you are wrong. Higher high, lower low, sort of drifting along overbought. In snow, I would like to see it pull back to the 18-day average and try to hold that and get this surge that it had beyond it. That doesn't mean it can't go higher again, but in a more orderly manner. The industrial sector still acts like a market that if it can break down further because it lost its bullish embedded reading, why not get back to the 18-week average? I'm wrong if you get back up to the 156 level, $5 higher. We'll see. I don't think it's going to, but we'll see if it can do that. In XLE, just pulling back into the support of the 18-day average of closes. Then we get to the dollar. And would you agree? It's just going sideways. Hasn't broken out one way or the other yet. It will. Nothing stays like this very long, but this has been the whole summer. I mean, each one of these is a week. So how many do you have there? It's basically the summer that's behind us now. The gold market got the bid. It's had it, but I wouldn't rush out and tell you to buy over a Bollinger Band. It's not something I would do. Same in the copper miners. Dutch Brothers, I don't see it as doing much of anything. I think it's just going to wave around here for a little bit. So you put it all together, you come up with your game plan. What's the other part of it? Click the icon up here if you want to get our free information, or if you'd like to sign up for my morning research, will you join me in my SPDR ETF with very specific? I want you to buy here. I want you to put a stop. Here's our trailing stop. Here's how we're going to move with the market. And some trades you'll be in, like some of them are on right now. They're 2 years or so. So others are shorter in nature. I mix it up intentionally. So how do you get that? Under the word research. So it's iraepstein.com, research. You'll see everything up there.